Okay, welcome back everybody. I think the screen resolution should be okay now. My kids were helping me get new software set up last week, and I think we changed the resolution by accident. So two things, if you could let me know if you hear me okay, that would be great. And then also, if you could confirm that you are seeing the screen in its entirety, that would be great too. So yeah, back to the original viz. So when you see the can you see my whole Chrome screen when it switches over? Okay, loud and clear, good. And is the screen resolution okay? Okay, excellent. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's get started. Sorry about that, my apologies, and thank you for jumping back on. All right, so what I was mentioning, so I guess I'll start over for those who haven't been on yet, but we've got big numbers across the top. I think the title and the subtitle are good with the original this week. Again, we're looking at the success of Operation Fistula's pilot program. The numbers across the top are good. I think they need a bit of context. Okay, and we have the five countries. They're all nice, distinct colors from each other. The numbers that are on the map, I assume, are the number of operations. It doesn't say that anywhere though. And then you've got the summary stats at the bottom. It's a bar chart, which is nice. What is a bit unclear to me is I don't like how the legends are at the bottom, or I'm sorry, the titles for each of the individual charts are at the bottom. I find that I almost lost them and didn't see them. So yeah, I would move those to the top. And the total cost of the treatment and the healthy year lives gained, I would probably make those more contextual, like, you know, cost of treatment per patient or something like that, because of course the total cost and the total number of years of life gained are going to be more in Madagascar because there were just more surgeries in Madagascar. And Dimitri, I did make cookies yesterday, and there is a gigantic container of them, or glass cookie jar of them, in the kitchen. So I had too many last night and I had too many today, so I'm feeling a bit woozy today. So I've had kind of a headache all day. Okay, so let's look at the data. I've gone ahead and connected it to Tableau. And right, so we have the patient ID, the country, that patient's age, the symptoms. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to go to aliases, and we see we have three different options: leaking feces, leaking urine, and leaking urine and feces. The years they've been leaking, the outcome of the surgery. Okay, so the outcomes, that is continent, incontinent, and partial continence. Now, I believe incontinent means unsuccessful, so I'm just going to double check that. So I'm going to just Google incontinent, incontinence surgery, just to make sure I understand what the definition is. Okay, incontinence. Okay. Sling surgery. Okay, so it doesn't mean successful or unsuccessful urinary. Okay, so let me go back here then. So we've got continent, okay, so that's just kind of the type of, or that's the outcome. All right, that makes sense then. The years lost, so that would be the years they've lost because of their condition. The years gained would be the number of years gained because they've had the surgery, and then the cost of the surgery in US dollars. Okay, great. So let's just start exploring the data a bit. So the age field does not need to be an aggregate, so I'm just going to move that up to my dimensions. And the surgery cost, years gained, I guess I could leave those there. That's fine. Years leaking, years lost. So the first thing I want to look at is I'm just going to look at the age profile. So we've got 18 through whatever, and I'm just going to look at the number of patients at each age. So I'm going to look at the number of patients, and you can see most of them are kind of skewing toward the lower age. So I'm going to actually create a bin, and I'm going to just call this age range, and I'm going to do them in bins of 5. And then if I put that there, okay, we get something like that. So we can see most of them are at the lower end. Okay, that's fine. And then I maybe want to look at, let's see, so symptoms, let's put that there. So almost all of them are leaking urine. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to worry about the symptoms in particular. Then the outcomes, let's see, let's put the outcomes there. Okay. So, yeah, so incontinent, I believe, means the surgery was not successful. Okay, and then partially successful and successful. Okay. So, and then we have years gained. So if I just put that on color, so I would expect this, the 20 to be the most years gained because that's where the most patients were. So I'm going to change this to the average years gained. And we can see the younger they are, the more years they gained, which makes sense because they're younger. Okay, we can maybe look at the average years leaking. Okay, and again, that makes sense. The older people have been leaking for a longer time. Okay, so that's useful. So this is our patients by age range. Okay, so I'm going to now try, maybe if I do age range, and let's see, I'm going to do years gained as bins as well. So let's create bins on years gained. And right now I'm just going to start with bins of size 1. Actually, I'll create it with a parameter instead. So start with 1, and I'm just going to allow, so just put the value of 1 in there, hit OK. And now I can just put that here and show my parameter. And then if I look at the number of patients perhaps, so let's drag number of patients, onto the view. Okay, and we can see most patients. Okay, so we got this nice little triangle here, which makes sense. Okay, so that's not particularly useful. Years gained, years lost, maybe surgery cost. Okay, so that looks like the same. Make this an average. And these are all 190 and then nothing. Okay. Okay, so maybe if I make this every 5 years gained. Okay, doesn't really tell me a whole lot, so I'm just going to call this my heat map. All right, let's see, what else could we do? I did Priya Padam, who's in the data school, showed me what she built earlier today. So let me give you, let's see. Okay, so what she did was she put patient ID on detail and changed it to a circle mark type, and put, I think she did a, let's see, so this is one or more dimensions, one or more measure. Okay, and just put maybe, I think, is it like, no, that's not it. How did she do it? Let's do it like that. Okay, there we go. So if I take that off, oops, let's just make this, just do the average of 1. So I'm just going to make them all the same size. Okay, and I could probably make these maybe like, oops, wrong mark type. So I want to make this a shape. And the shape I'm going to make them in is, okay, so I can't do that. But that gives me, interesting, it only lets you do circles. Okay, let me try this again. So shape, and I want to create them as hexagons. So let's see, where are my shapes icons? Here we go. Why is it not letting me do that? So it only lets me do those as circles. Huh. Okay. And then I could put the outcome of surgery on color. And one of the things this does is it lets us see how many. So if I switch these around, you see as you move these fields around, so we can see how many in the middle. That's how many had a successful surgery. Now I'm not quite sure how she created them as a shape. So let me put that on detail. Okay. Well, this isn't too bad either. So let me just put, oh, maybe that's what it is. Maybe I need to just put this on detail. Put that on detail. Okay, now can I change the mark type? Shape, no, it puts it back like that. Interesting. Okay, I'll have to ask her how she did that. Okay, if I go forward, okay, I'm not quite sure why that wouldn't work. But anyway, we could then maybe change the colors. So I'll just show you what she did. So she made them the continent black, the incontinent maybe a light gray, and the partial kind of somewhere in the middle. And you get a view like that. Quite dark. But yeah, those are like, so those are packed bubbles. Just wanted to show you an idea there. But that just gave me another idea that if I put outcome here, I put patient ID on detail, I'm going to get each of these blocks. And then I could put maybe, let's see, if I put, yeah, I think if I just change the mark type to maybe a circle, and let me just fit to entire view. So now we can see how many are, and I think I want to change the default. I'm going to change the, let's see, where are we here, default property sort. I want the incontinent to be third in my sort order, so I'm going to change it to manual, and I'm going to move incontinent to the bottom. Okay, so now we can see them all kind of next to each other. If I do it as color, we get something like that. So yeah, maybe this wow, that's like very dark color. Reset. I'm just going to reset it for now because it's a bit hard for me to look at. So this just kind of maybe gives you a sense of the volume of how many there are. So if I just grab the very edge, oh, there's no edge to grab here. Anyway, that might be one way to do it. We could also, if I move the outcome to the rows, we could see it like that. And then maybe I could just jitter them. So the average of random, that's going to give me a 0 to 1 scale. Put that on my columns. Okay, that didn't quite work the way I was hoping. And then let me do an average here as well. Okay, well, that didn't work particularly well. That wasn't what I was hoping for. Get rid of that. Okay, oh, maybe I could do it like this. Let me move that here and put years gained onto the rows. There we go. So this gives us a better idea on the number of years gained for each type. So let me just go ahead and hide the header. And there we go. So that gives us a bit of a better idea on the range there. And then if I put an average line in, let's see, table years gained for each pane, I could see how many years they gain based on each of those outcomes. So much higher for the continent partial, and then the incontinent. So this is our jitter plot. Okay, what else could we do? Yeah, right. So we could also look at. I want to do something like, I'm just going to start now with a table. So the patient, the cost, and the years gained. Okay, so I want to look at the cost per year gained, And I'm just going to look at the sum of the cost divided by the sum of the years gained. And then if I put that on there, now I can take these other two off. I could see the cost per year gained, so $18. So let me set a default number format. So that's going to be custom 2 decimals with a $sign. Okay, so that gives us the cost for each patient. And now if I take that off the view, and let's put outcome up here, we can see incontinent is no years gained because there's no there's no improvement on their number of years gained. So so that gives us the cost per year gained. And then I think if I go back to the original, they've got average cost, no, 1580. So I get 1477, which is interesting. Average cost of 1 whole year of healthy life gained. So I don't know where they're getting 1580 from. Maybe if they take that off. Yeah. Okay, so maybe that's another way to do it. Average days of healthy life gained per dollar spent. So days per dollar spent. So that's probably just the other way around. Days per dollar spent. And I guess they're probably doing the sum of years gained, probably times 365, divided by the sum of the surgery cost. Let's put that on there. And then I'm just going to try to get the same numbers, so 23. Okay, yeah, so I'm calculating that the same way that they are. Okay, very good. So I think what I'm going to try to do now is if I compare those two, so dollars, something like that, and put patient ID on detail, I get one outlier here, so that is cost per year gained. So let me look at that person. Outcome, that's got to be a, I think these numbers must be backwards, the years lost and the years gained. Those have to be backwards in the data set. So I'm going to find this person's, that's patient ID 524, and I'm going to just take them out of the data set. I'm going to just exclude them. Okay, now we get some, oh, there's another one. How many people is this here? So that's one more person, so 120. Okay, there we go. And that's probably the type of curve we would expect. So you've got, let's see, let me flip this around the other way and see if it makes a bit more sense. So for every dollar spent, let's see, this is, yeah, this makes sense. You would expect a curve like that. So, all right. Okay, but that also doesn't tell me anything particularly interesting. What were some other ideas here? So I kind of like that view so far. What I would probably do here, though, is change this to go from minus 0.25 to 1.25. That's just going to spread them out a bit. There we go. Because now I have room for the label if I choose to do it. So let me do that. And if I flip this, how does it look? Oh, that looks a bit better that way, I think. Yeah, because now you're seeing years going left to right. All right, what else could we do? So we've got the numbers. Okay. And then what if we did the average years gained, the average years lost. Now they don't have like a net figure, I don't think. So if I go back to the data source, I probably should read the article. That might not be a bad idea. So, okay, let me start with the data dictionary. I should have done this first. Really dumb. So Dan, you do have a random function. You just have to there. It's not listed in the formulas. So to do random, just double click in the rows or the columns and just type in random, open and close brackets, and then you get the random function. Now I usually change it to an average. So that average forces the randoms to be between 0 and 1. So there you go. Okay. Okay, patient ID, symptoms, years of leaking. Remains incontinent. Some fistula are also close. Well, close it, but she may still experience some residual incontinence. Okay. Number of healthy years of life lost for each patient as a result of their fistula. Okay. Okay. Number of years lost by a patient with a rectovaginal. Okay. So can we do like a net then? Gained by each patient is going to be by, for example, they live 33.1 years longer. Okay. And let's look at the info pack here. And I think this is just more information about Operation Fistula. About the data, about the viz. Okay, I might come back to that later for some context. All right. So average years gained, average years lost. So I'm thinking these might be 3 numbers too, and I'm considering just focusing on the continents, the continent. So if I do keep only on that, and I'm going to make it for the whole data source. I could use a data source filter as well. Okay, so there we go. So now I can get rid of that. And now I've got my average years gained. So this is kind of similar to these. Is that similar to the numbers they had in the original? So 5 countries, 623 surgeries, average days of healthy life per dollar spent. Okay, but that's looking at all outcomes. Okay, so days per dollar spent. So I'm going to make that, that's not days. Yeah, so I'm going to make that a number. I think because it's days, I think I'm just going to make it a round number. And then average years gained. So years gained. And I'm going to make that to 1 decimal. Okay. So I'm going to also take measure names and put it on the text shelf. So now when I go into my text shelf, I could put measure values above measure names and set them both to center. And now I can make that maybe a big number. Okay, and let me just stretch it out a bit. Okay, and then if I center a line. Okay, so that looks okay. So let me change that to make it bold, maybe make it a bit bigger. Okay, that's good. Okay, so I'm just going to rename that as Now what does the days per dollar spent mean? Average days of healthy life gained. Okay. So this would be, so average days of healthy life gained per dollar spent. Okay, something like that. And then I would align these at the top so that the numbers all align, and then get rid of my header, and then get rid of my tooltip. All right, so that gives me some numbers here. So these are my big numbers. And I'm wondering if I put that here, fit width. Yeah, so incontinent doesn't. Yeah, so I think I'm going to stick with just the continent. Okay, and that's not really going to help me. Okay, and then maybe, I think maybe I'll do the number of patients. So count distinctive patient ID. And then what I want to do is I want to make this text. And then I'm trying to remember how I did this before. Number or text size. I know I did a tip on this before, but I don't remember how I did it. Okay, that's fine. I'm trying to find, here we go. So this is how to make the Tableau font bigger than Tableau allows. So bear with me for a second. So Tableau only allows up to like 72 point. But I'm trying to remember. So this is pretty meta. I'm doing YouTube inside of YouTube. Hopefully it plays. Maybe not. Come on. Maybe YouTube doesn't like playing inside of YouTube. Try it this way. Okay. Because what I'm thinking is I could put the number of women that have been helped in a big number. So 559 women are now continent because of Operation Fistula. Okay, let's see. Okay. So now what did I do here? So it has to be a number on the text shelf. But how did I make this as big as it'll go? Well, that's a good question. Because I think here, oops, so 68, and then if I crank the size up, okay, why did I? Okay, I'm going to have to watch the video because I don't remember how I did this. What I want to do is calculate the to have a plus or a minus.
let's start by just, and then if I go in and try to change my font, I could just type a number in here like 100. Well, notice I made it, but it doesn't let me do it bigger. I'm not sure why, but let's figure out how to fix that. Okay, so we have something like that, and I've shown you how Tableau does not allow you to adjust the size. You could think, okay, I'll put something on the side shelf and maybe crank that up a bit, but you notice that didn't do anything.
Oh.
Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and field onto the number of records. Oh, it doesn't fit in here. So if I go back over to my dashboard, put any field onto the number of records.
Okay, so what I need to do here, so let me close this page so it doesn't suck up the memory. So what I want to do here is I'm going to just create a dummy field and put that on the text shelf, and then put the number of women. So let's call this women helped. And this would just be a count distinct of patient ID. Put that on text as well. Let's see, and then where'd it go? Let's see. Okay, so that's good there. And then I want to put maybe just the average number of records onto size. There we go. I could just make this an average. Oh, just count. Okay, that's fine. And now I can crank this up. So you see it's whatever size I want it to be now. And I think I can now remove that to detail. And there we go. So those are kind of the steps there. Let me go through that again just so you can see what I did. So first thing is I created a dummy field. I'm going to put that on text. And then I'm going to put the women that were helped onto the text shelf as well. And then I'm going to just take a field, any number, and stick it on size and change my mark type to text, and I get a gigantic number. So that's a way that I can include a nice big number on there. And then I can take that on detail, and we get something like that. Now, the problem is I can't now go in here, and if I type in like women helped, I think that's also probably going to be the same size, right? So if I move that down, maybe I'll make that 8. Let's see what happens. Yeah, see there, it's still the same size. So I want to get rid of that and go back to the big number. So I can figure that out a different way. So let's call this women helped. I have an idea on how I can fix that. All right, so we've got 559 women helped. This is the cost. This is the average years gained. And then what if I put age range here as well? That's not very useful. Can take outcome off the view. And we can see the younger they are, the more years they've gained. Okay, so maybe I'll put that on color instead. And age range, let's make this, okay. So if I do this slightly differently then, and if I put, I'm just going to put age, it just doesn't really matter, min age here. We can see the age of all of the women. My slipper just fell off my foot. Okay, so if I do like this, okay, so that's not very good. I'm just wondering if it's useful to also have the age of the women on there as well, but I don't think that's really adding any value here. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, I think I'm onto something here, so that's no good. So this is the same 539. So I could even just lay this on top of those if I wanted, but I don't know how, I'm not quite sure how Priya did that. Let me see. I'm going to see how she did it. Hopefully she published it by now. Come on, Tableau Public. Come on. I told her I was going to try to use her idea. So let's see what she came up with here. Let's see if it's on her. Okay, the pilot program. Yeah, this should be it. Okay. Oh, she didn't make it downloadable. Okay, but I'll show you what she did. So years lost, years gained. So, oh, those are circles. Okay. Yep. Okay. So, okay. So, yeah, I do like that because it gives kind of a scale to the numbers. So I could maybe outcome of surgery. I don't need that in the view. I'm thinking I could put the 500 number over top of this. So this is, yeah, so that's the number of women. So this would be the years gained. What else did she have here? Years gained, years lost. Let me try years lost and see what that looks like. Okay, yeah, I don't think we want that one. Cost per year gained. And then maybe days gained. Okay. So let's do custom. Oh no, we just want to do the value. No tooltip. No tooltip. And let's do maybe a line like that. Okay, so that's the cost per year gained. And I'm just going to leave it like that for now and hide that indicator. That's fine. And then this is going to be days gained per DS. I'm just trying to give them different names. And I want to do the value, no tooltip, that, untick the recalculate. Okay. And then this is going to be, this is my YG, years gained. So edit. Okay, so the value, no tooltip. That. Okay. I have another idea. So if I do a distribution, okay, so let me undo that. I'm wondering if I do like a distribution band in here as well. So distribution band for years gained, and I want to do percentile 95%. Let's do no labels. Okay, that didn't work very well. What did I do there? Okay, so that's one standard deviation from the mean. And then if I do, yeah, so let's do, what's it doing? Average. Yeah, so that's 60. Yeah, so I want to do, I think I want to just do one standard deviation. Untick that. I think I'm going to leave it like that for now. So let me do maybe a lighter gray. I'm just trying to find a way to show kind of the spread a bit better. So that's one standard deviation. Let me do the same thing here. So reference distribution band. We're going to do no labels. We're going to do one standard deviation. I think I did that gray. I think that's the one I did. Untick, recalculate. Okay, is that the color I did? Yeah. And then same. This is just, I'm just trying to find a way to show maybe some outliers. Don't know if it adds anything to the viz or not. So no lines, one standard deviation. Untick that. Okay. Right, so we've got quite a few outliers then. Okay. I don't know why it doesn't let us do the percentiles. Why wouldn't it let us do a quintiles? If I do, what does that do? Okay, yeah, that doesn't help. Okay, that's fine. Now what I could do, maybe what I'll do instead is, let's see if I can color code whether or not they're within the standard deviation. So this would be average, what am I looking at here? Days gained. These are terrible calculation names. Let's see, in range. And I'm going to say that the average days gained is greater than or equal to minus the standard deviation of the average days gained. And then I think, yeah, I want to do less than or equal to that minus. Okay, I'm just going to test this real quick. And I get an error message. This are in aggregate. Okay, so this is going to need to be right. So I can't. Oh, this needs to be a window standard deviation. There we go. And all I'm trying to do now is put that on the view, and then, okay, why is that not working? Okay, I think I did something wrong here then. So I want to say days spent is, so if I go one standard deviation below, that would be minus, yes, that would be some from 2 rows. Yeah, so this is correct. Windows standard deviation of that. Okay, let me just try it this way first. And they all have, so minus 7, so that's 7 below. So 25 minus that gets me to 18. Okay. So 25 minus the Windows standard deviation, and then I want to say the value itself. Let's see. These should all be, some of these should be true and some is greater than. No, I think I want to say shoot, what am I doing wrong here? That looks like it should be right. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to say something like and is less than or equal to that plus 1 standard deviation. But I'm getting true for everything, which isn't right. So yeah, why is that not working? So let's, okay, so this is going to be, oh, this should be this needs to be a window average. That's why, because I need to get the reference line, and the reference line is a window average, because I want to take the difference from the reference line. Okay, this is going to work now. Ah, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so that just tells us how many are in the range. And then I could do the same thing for this one. I think I like this better. So this would be in my, what I call this one, CPYG, cost per year gained range. Okay, so this should be cost per year gained, cost per year gained, cost per year gained, same thing. Okay. I hope I'm doing this for a good reason, because I'm kind of stuck now. Cost per year gained. Okay, there we go. And then let's do one more, years gained. So, okay, so this should be sum of years gained, sum of years gained. This is definitely the quickest way to replace fields in a formula. Okay, there we go. Now these should probably look all pretty similar. Right, so I've got my big number, I've got the total number of women helped, my big number, my age range, which I'm probably not going to use, because what I'm thinking is I've got these numbers, and if I turn these, maybe if I put this here instead, I could have these going kind of left to right. So average years. So average years gained, cost per year gained. Okay, so, right. Okay, I think I'm gonna just kind of leave it like that for now. Maybe something like that. Okay, so I'm gonna start by, I need to sketch this out. Come on. Boy, everything's going slow today. Come on. It's not showing me, there we go, more balsamic. Okay, let me just check this real quick. Okay. All right, let me see if there's any questions while I wait for this to load. I'm going to create my submission. Okay. Yes, Denise, I do often talk to myself while I'm doing this. Okay. Okay. So let me kind of sketch out my idea, and then we'll kind of see how it goes from there, if this ever loads. This has not been a very good Makeover Monday for me. Okay, so I'm going to start with a big text box. So where's my title? Okay. And then I'm just going to have a line. So I usually put a line underneath. Let's just make it something like that. And what I'm thinking is if I put kind of the really big number, so let me just put some text here. So this would be the 559, I think that's the number. And then I'm going to make this like really big. So is there a text size? Here we go. I'll just make it like that for now. So we're going to have a number. It's going to be bigger than this, and I think I'm going to try to put the bubbles behind it, but I'm not going to worry about that for now. And then what I'm thinking is I'll have, one number here. Come on. So this would be my years gained. Whatever. Okay, and then I'm going to have my okay, so something like this, and these will each have a number ahead of them. So what are my numbers? Let's see here, big number. So 12.9. So maybe something like that. And then duplicate that, put this here, and this is going to be 14.72. And this would be my and then the last one, something like that. And this would be 25 days gained per dollar spent. Okay, something like that. So I'm going to have these numbers here. Come on. And then I should be able to align them all. There we go. Okay, and then what I'm going to have is, I'm thinking I'll then take these three, where are these three charts, and put them kind of next to each other. Because I think if I do three separate fields here, years gained, cost per year gained, and average days gained per year, I think I prefer them to be in rows instead of columns. So so I'm going to have where's my charts? So, oops, shoot. Oh, dang it, go away. Okay, I'll just put it in here as a barcode for now. Make it look like a, oh, I can't make it any wider. Okay, well, hopefully you get the idea. So I'm going to have my chart here, and then one more here. So that's what I'm thinking. I'll have them going kind of left to right like that. All right, so let's see how that turns out. So I need to have a title, a line. Okay, so I'm going to start with a horizontal container and shift and drag in. And 0, 0, 1200, 600, and let me put in 20 of inner padding. Okay, and then I'm going to drag in my title. So what would be a good title for this? So let's go back to the article. Okay. All right, so this is called what did the original say? Okay, I don't know what Kickstart is. Okay. How successful as successful? Does that look right? Why does that not look right? The spelling doesn't look right on that. Is it just one L? It looks weird to me for some reason. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Has Operation Fistula's pilot program. Or how about the success of? Let's maybe make that like, I don't know, that's fine. Make it maybe a darker color. And then I'm going to say, so I'm looking at just the continents. So, okay. Running just. Okay, but if I trace it, okay, it's about a program. First has earned a huge amount. This program provides output about the data. Okay. Okay, so how many women are there in total? Let me just leave it like that for now. I'm going to just do the number of women, and then I'm going to take this and put it up here for now. So 88, okay. Okay. So, our now continent. Something like that. Okay. And I think I'm spelling that wrong. Continent. Okay. Okay, that's the about. So I know I'm going through this quickly. Result uncontrollably. Okay. Okay, that's fine. And then I want to have, so if I go back to my image here, I'm going to have the big number, and then we're going to have these three sections. So this is going to be, so I'm going to need a container, a horizontal container here. And I'm just going to stick a blank in there for now. And what I want to do is, that's okay, I don't need to do that. I can just put my packed bubbles in here for now and hide the title. And then I want to put I'm going to have another container here that's going to have the 3 down and the 2 across. So that's going to be, let's see, how do I want to design this one? Probably could do it like this. So that's my left to right, so I need to put a blank in there. And I'm going to have my big number here. And then I want to have my 3 across inside of this one. So this is going to be a vertical container. So I can get rid of the blank. And then in this vertical container, I'm going to do years gained, cost per year gained, and now these should hopefully line up nice and neat. Okay, and now this, where's my big numbers? These can go in the middle. And then I think I can make these numbers bigger now as well. So let's make these like, I don't know, 48. Okay. And then now I've got all of this other crap the Tableau puts in here. So remove, delete. Okay, so average years gained. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to edit my axis, and where'd it go? There it goes. So I'm going to have it go from, oh no, let's leave it automatic, and then I want to start at 0, fixed, go from 0 and go every 25, something like that. And then I'm going to get rid of the title. I'm just trying to make a nice clean looking range here. And then cost per year gained. Let's edit this. This should go from 0 to 100 maybe. 0, 100. Okay. And then, oops, I need to get rid of the title. All right. Okay. Now what I don't like is how I've got, these aren't going to line up nice and neat. So let me hide this title and hide this title. So these aren't going to line up, which is annoying. So this one, I want to go from 0, let's say 0, and let's put every 25 on this one. Let's see. No, we can do every 50. General, let's go from that to, let's say 53. Okay, there we go. And then this one we can have go from, so what's this number out here? Let's see, fixed, so 115, let's go maybe minus 15. Okay, how's that look? Okay, that looks all right. And then this one, biggest number, okay, so let's go fixed, so let's go 25, let's do minus 2 to 25. Let's go with 27. Okay, just trying to shrink it in just a bit. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, but what I don't like is how I've got these axes here, and it makes these dots kind of not line up with that. But let me, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to add a reference line. I'm going to make it a band, and it's going to make these constants. So constant and constant, so 0 and 25. And no tooltip, none, no line, no fill. Okay, and now if I edit my reference or format my reference band, I could set them at the center and at the top. And now it looks like I have kind of an axis without an axis. There we go. Maybe I should have a line on there. But okay, so let's do, boy, this stuff takes a lot of time. Okay, let me just do a thin line, maybe a dashed line, and a light gray, something like that. Okay, that's not too terrible. Yeah, I think that's okay. And this one I want to do the same thing. So I want to add a reference line. I want to go to a band, constant, constant, 0, no tooltip, 100, no tooltip. Let's have a thin line, light gray, no fill. Okay, and then let's format that. I want to align center and top. And then I want to number, and I'm just going to make this $1. Okay, and now I can hide that header. And then lastly, I could do this one. Oh no, I don't want to do that. So this one's going 0 to 50, so add a reference line. Okay, band, constant, constant, 0, 50, no tooltip, no tooltip. And then I should be able to align these. Let's see, I'm going to align the reference. So shading, that, alignment, middle, top, and is that it? Average days gain. Yeah, that's fine. And then I want to hide the header. Okay. So now I'm getting a bit closer, but now I like how these are kind of lined up now. So in this particular chart, I'm now going to get rid of my row banding. Let me drag that down, and okay, and I also want to get rid of the dividers, so no row dividers. Oops, what just happened? I probably should save, that just scared me. Okay, so Makeover Monday 2020 48. Now, one of the things that I want to do now is I want this to save. That'd be one good thing. Okay, I want these to be. I don't like how close together these run. So these dots are too close to these. So what I'm going to do is on my random axis. So I'm just going to do this for all three of them. Show the header. Show the header. Show the header. Okay, so I'm going to actually just have this go probably from maybe minus 0.5 to 1.5. And that just kind of squishes them down a bit. Okay, and then same thing here. So minus 0.5, 1.5. Minus 0.5. Okay. And then I'm going to make sure these are all distributed evenly, which they should be anyway. Okay. And actually, yeah, that's fine. Okay, and then let me format and get rid of the grid lines, get rid of the zero lines. Actually, yeah, that's fine. Get rid of my axis rulers. And then what I'm going to do is on that sheet, I'm going to just copy formatting, paste formatting, paste, oops, paste formatting. Okay, well that didn't work out so well, did it? What the hell? Okay, so this should be a distribution band. That's strange. Okay, something happened there. Okay, I'm just going to format. I don't know why that formatting didn't copy over. That's okay. Well, it takes a second. All right. And now I need to just fix some colors. So the ones that are in the range. So let me just go to, I've got a, maybe I'll just do, what color do we want? Let's use data school colors. See how that looks. That is backwards. I would just, how about Makeover Monday colors? Those are always good. Let's make that like that. Okay. So Makeover Monday. So the true would be that, the false is that. Okay. And then these. that, false, that. Okay, so let's see how that looks. Okay, and then I need to just maybe reduce the size a bit. It's probably too much. Oh, that's not too bad. But I do need to get rid of the borders. Oh, I saw a nice little tip. Somebody told me this the other day, Erica, you see how these look a bit blurry right now? If you change the mark type to a pi, the blurriness goes away. I don't know, that's kind of weird, but it does. So I'm going to change that to a pi, turn off the borders, and then reduce the size a bit. So what if I just go like that? I mean, you really shouldn't have to do that, but okay. And now I need to get rid of my included tooltip, so patient ID, and then this needs to not be in the tooltip. That's fine. I'm not too fussed about my tooltips today. Okay, and then all right. So now we've got this. So let's make that fit entire view. Oops. What happened there? Oh boy. So I'm just going to move this over. Move this over. Oh, damn it. Okay, there we go. So now if I make this fit entire view, there we go. And I'm going to, let's go to the sheet. I'm going to, because I think if I make these pies, yeah, then it makes it all just one giant pie. Okay, so the color I want to use here is, so no border. And then I want to use, where's the Makeover Monday colors? It's one of these. I think it's that one. I think I guessed right. Okay, and then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get my other sheet. So this is my Women Helped, and I'm going to float that over top of this. Okay, and let's hide the title. And then I want to get rid of my shading, so none. And then I'm going to go to the sheet. I want to make the font white. Okay, that's fine. And let's make it maybe bold, or let's just switch it to Tableau bold. Okay, and let's see what that looks like now. Okay, so entire view. And now if I shrink this, maybe make this nice and big. There we go. So we have 500. I don't know if this is centered or not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So this needs to go up slightly like that. Okay. So 559 women helped. I don't want to be able to click on that. So women helped. No tooltip. Okay. And I don't want to be able to click on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a dashboard action on this sheet. So let's filter action. Let's see. Women helped on select. And the sheet I want to update is women helped. That's fine. So I want to go from dummy to something else, country. And now when I click on it, it just won't do anything. Okay. So, and then in this sheet, I'm going to put these 3 fields, no, not that, years gained onto the tooltip. And this should be the average years gained. So now in my tooltip, I can see the patient. Let's get rid of that. The average years gained, etc. Okay, very good. And then in my big numbers, I'm going to change my text here to be the same green and hit OK. Okay, so now I'm going to go here and I'm going to just add some inner padding. So I'm just going to get rid of the outer padding, and then I'm going to put maybe 10 at the top and 5 at the 5 at the bottom, and then this one, let's go 0, and we want to do 5 at the top and 5 at the bottom, and then this one I want to do, let's see, 5, and then let's see, I want to do, what the hell am I trying? I'm trying to make them all the same size. So this one needs to be 10 on the top and 5 on the bottom. And then that gives a width of 5 here, and then this one needs to be 0, and then on the inner padding I want to do 5 on the top and 10 on the bottom. Okay, there we go. So that all lays it out nice and neat. Okay. Yeah, I think that's going to have to do it. Let me do one more thing here. I need to put my, oops, it's tiled. Okay, so this would be my data source is, let's go back here. Let's go. And let's see, data source is Operation Fistula. And created by. Okay, and then I'm on this one, I'm going to, because I don't want that close. Okay, so, and now this is floating, so of course this got messed up. This is why I hate floating things, but I don't have a choice. Okay, so need to take the header title off the bottom one. I did that. Continent. Continent. 80% are now continent as a result of their fistula operation. Okay, and I think I'm going to make this maybe Tableau bold. Or maybe got 14. Okay. Can we align the 0 for the second chart? Oh, you mean maybe align all the zeros? That might not be a bad idea. Well, the scales are different, so it's going to be a bit tough. But I see what you mean. So let me go to, that's this chart. So let me show the header. I'll just do it. I'll see if I can get them all to line up. That's a good idea. Show header. I'm probably just going to have to play around with it a bit to get them just right. So this one, I probably want to start at like maybe -5. Let's see what that does. Okay. -10. -9. Okay, that looks pretty good. Thank you for that idea. And now I can hide the header there. I think that's what you mean. Okay, and then this one, I want to start it at maybe, let's say 0. Nope, wrong way. Okay, that's Okay, good enough. So that lines those all up nice and neat. Yeah, good idea. Thank you for that. But this is still has some weird padding. So what if I, oh, there we go. That's what I wanted to do. And this I can set back to 0. So this should be 5 and 5, and then this should all be zeros. Okay, and then this one should be all zeros, and then 10 at the top and 5 at the bottom. Okay, there we go. So that should separate them a bit better. I think that's okay. Okay, so what other comments? 559 in the middle means, so that's the number of women helped. So I need to add on how do you enter the dot in the caption to separate the data source? Oh, on a Mac that's just option 8, but you can always just grab that from somewhere. So yeah, so this 559, I need to, if I go to that sheet, and I think what I'm going to try to do, if I pick this sheet and I show the caption, this would be, so let's make this white and maybe 15. So this is, okay, yep. Women became consonant after surgery. I bet there's no way I spelled that right. Women became consonant. Oh, I did. Okay, but I'm probably going to need to make that a bit smaller. And apply. And let's make that tableau bold. Oops. Yeah, that doesn't look very good. Okay, so if I go to this sheet and now I align the number to the bottom, I'm hoping that brings it down, but it didn't. Yay! So if I raise that, then it makes that number smaller. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do then is I'm going to copy that. I'm going to hide the caption, and I'm going to just maybe float another number, or no, I'm going to float a container. I'm going to move this number into that container, and then I'm going to put a text box in that container and paste that in, and then select the container and move it here. So let's go like that. Okay, but, well, that didn't work very well. So I need to like play around with this a bit now to get it just right. And if I make this, I wonder if I make this nice and big, how big can I get that number to be? Oh, there we go, that's pretty good. And then let me go back to the sheet and align it to the center and center. Okay, that didn't change anything, that's fine. Okay, do you find that text a bit hard to read? I think I do find it a bit hard to read, so I'm just going to move this up a touch. And now if I can make this number bigger. Yeah, I find that font a bit hard to read, but I can't really think of something of a better way to do it. So I think I'm going to just leave it for now. Okay, any other feedback? So, can you make it a caption under the bubble? Might be a little complex. You fit the bubbles into the. Can I fit the bubbles into the put a caption on the bubble chart? Okay, so what I could do here is caption. Okay, how about something like that? Is that better? I don't like the bold, so let's just do tablet book. Okay, I think, could I fit the bubbles into the 559? I don't know, maybe. I'm not going to worry about that. Yeah, I think it means fill up these 559 with bubbles. Okay, I think I'm done. Maybe I should change the color of this font to match the green. Maybe make it a bit bigger. Let's see if that fits. Okay, so this I want to fix the height of, and then I'm going to add a bit of padding at the bottom. Okay. All right. I think that's it. All right. So what I would do from here is I'm going to go ahead, create an extract, and get rid of the uh, I'm sorry. Create an extract, um, save it, publish it up, and then I'm going to write a quick blog post on kind of what works and what doesn't. And maybe I won't. I don't know. Maybe I'll just publish it as it is. But yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in. I hope you learned something. Sorry again about the little confusion at the beginning. Still learning the software and I screwed it up. So, all right, everybody, have a wonderful day. Thanks for attending. Bye.